Hello dear student, in unit 5 lesson 1 I'm going to talk about have to and has to. Have to and has to use for present, and we have had to for the past. I'm going to talk about both of them. Have to and has to is means to or is used to express certainty, necessity and obligation. It's mean that for if someone use have to or has to in the sentence, is mean that you have to obey or you have to do the things that the speaker wants. So there is no way to reject or refuse the speaker's want or the speaker's wish. First of all, we have the positive. Let's see what's the rule of positive. If our subject is I, we, you, they, we use have to. If our subject is he, she, it, or a name, we use has to. And both of them is used with base. So it's mean the verb should be base without ed, es, ing, or the past form. So the verb should be base. Let's see in examples. I have to wear glasses for reading. I have to wear glasses for reading. Let's see where's have to and where's the verb. Okay, so have to, we have to here because our subject is I here. As you see, our subject is I, that's why I use have to. And I said after have to, the verb should be base, so which is wear and without ed, es, or ing. Another one we have, he has to work late. He has to work late. This sentence is mean that he has to work late. So there is no way to not to work or not go to work. So you have to do. What's the speaker mean? He has to work. So we have has to here because we have he. Because our subject is he or the third person singular. So I have to use has to. And after that we have verb, which is work and which is base. Another example: the students have to wear school uniform. The students have to wear school uniform because in the schools that we have a rule that you have to wear uniform, all the students, so you can't reject or refuse this rule. So you have to wear school uniform. As you see, the student is because the word students have s, and because it's plural, that's why I use have to, because here is plural, and the verb, which is where has to be verb in base. I mean, she has to do her homework. She has to do her homework. Again, we have has to here because our subject is she, and do is base according to the rule. We have negative. Let's see what is the rule of the negative. It's very easy and very simple. We have I, we, you, they at the beginning, and don't have to. I, we, you, they don't have to. If you change from positive to negative, we have to add don't before have to. And also he, she, it. If our subject is he, she, it, we use doesn't have to. Doesn't have to. So you have to be careful about that. With he, she, it, in negative form, you have to use doesn't. Okay, and we don't have to use has to here because we have doesn't. If we have doesn't, we don't need to use doesn't has to, so it's incorrect. So you have to say doesn't have to because it doesn't take the place of has to, and all of them followed by a base, which is mean without ed, es, and ing or past form. For example, you don't have to lose weight. You don't have to lose weight. As you see, don't have to, because our subject is you here, that's why I use don't have to, and lose, it should be base. Another one, he doesn't have to go out tonight. He doesn't have to go out tonight. As you see, because we have he here, so I have to use doesn't have to according this rule. He doesn't have to go out tonight. She doesn't have to tell them about her problem. She doesn't have to tell them about her problem. Again, we have doesn't have to because our subject is she, and tell is the verb and should. It has to be base. You don't have to get up early. You don't have to get up early. Again, don't have to is a rule which is followed by you, and also get up, the verb, and in the base form. Okay, so the third type we have question. In question, we have do at the beginning. With do, we use I, we, you, they. If our subject is I, we, you, they, or plural, we use do. And if our subject is he, she, it, we use does, as you see here. Because our subject is he, she, it, we use does, and both of them is followed by have to and also have to. Why again I use have to here? Because I have does. So as I said, if I have does, I don't need to say has to, so I have to say have to, and all of them followed by base and also question mark at the end. For example, do you have to work hard? Do you have to work hard? As you see, we have do at the beginning. Why? Because my subject is you, and also have to, okay, because with do we use have to, and also work, which is the verb in base form. Another one, does he have to phone his parent? Does he have to phone his parent? Again, why I use does? Because I have he here. Have to again as the rule, because we said if we have does we use have to, and phone should be in base form. This one is about present. Now we have past. In past form we just say had to, okay, we just say had to. Positive, I, we, you, they, and he, she, it, both of them, no matter what is the subject, because this past, we use had to and also plus base. So our subject, whatever it is, okay, I, we, you, they, or he, she, we use had to because this past, and the verb again should be base. For example, we had to leave early. This sentence it is in past, so the speaker is me in the past. So a speaker said we had to leave early, so it's not present. We had to leave early. Why we use had to? Because we have subject, and also leave, it should be base. Again, she had to tidy her room. She had to tidy her room, okay, tidy again, it's base. And also they had to be at the meeting, okay, so be here, verb, and it is base. He had to keep it secret. He had to keep it secret. So keep here is a verb, and it is which is base. So the second one we have negative. Let's see what is change if you have it negative. I, you, they at the beginning, and also we can say subject he, she, it. Both of them with didn't have to, because it is past, as we mentioned in this first semester. So in past, when our subject, when our sentence in the past or wanted to make in negative, you have to use didn't, okay, didn't. And also because we have didn't, so had to change to have to, because we said if we have did or didn't, the verb should be in base. So didn't have to, not didn't had to, okay, so be careful about that. And also followed by base. For example, I didn't have to phone him. As you see, I didn't have to phone him, phone, which is verb and base. She didn't have to go to the doctor, didn't have to. And also we have go, which is in base. And they didn't have to tell anyone. Again, didn't have to, okay, because we have they, and tell should be in base form. The third type that we have, which is question. Did at the beginning, did plus what? Plus subject, which is I, we, you, they, or he, she, it, and both of them followed by have to, because we have did here, so had to change to have to. Okay, for example, did he have to think about money? Okay, did he have to think about money? Because did, and after he we have to, and also think, which is verb and should be base. And did you have to worry about everything? Again, we have did and have to followed, and also worry, which is have to be in base form. Okay, so we have now here a summary. What is the have to and has to? We have summary. Have and has to is used for doing something or to do something in a certain way. Okay, this is summary. Have and has to is used for doing something or to do something in a certain way. The general rule for have to and has to, we have subject, okay, the general rule, and followed by have or has to, and also the verb in base form. Another example for the rule, I have to listen to the teacher, or also we can say she has to listen to the teacher. I hope you understand very well. Thank you very much.